Hello friends, welcome back and thanks for joining me again. I hope this video finds you well. You know, I got up a little late this morning, 6 o'clock, but you know, I ran quite well yesterday, so I guess I was more tired than I normally am. I had a great run yesterday. Managed my first 10k distance relatively well, which essentially is why I posted this video. Doing that 10k run made me think, oh, I wonder if other people would be interested in training like I do. So today's post is about how I train, which is a little different from other runners. This is a habit I've actually gotten into over the last 2 or 3 years, mainly because obviously I'm getting older now and I keep getting the colds and flus and stuff. So yeah, it's a habit I've gotten into because being injured and sick in the winter, I have to get into shape pretty quickly. You know, in time for the race. When I race, you know, in the spring and summer. My training method, is based around 2 key points of focus. These are heart rate and muscle strength. And actually, if you think about it, if either of these points are below par, you can't hope to be competitive. They're actually the main things that, you know, if you want to be a good runner, you need to be able to sustain a higher BPM, and also, you know, not have muscles that are giving in on you all the time, or, you know, getting injured. Now, I must stress, you know, I don't want anyone to get injured. That this type of training isn't for people who are new to running. Rather, you need to have the ability to perform at a reasonable level of endurance and have sufficiently strong leg muscles, as the distance I set for this training method are a little long if you're not running those distances consistently. So my advice is, if you're new to running and you want to try this method, set your starting distance lower. So you know, might be, depending on how new you are, you might want to set it at 5k or even lower than that. So first off, I set my distance, and the first target for me is 10 kilometres, and I'm actually at this point at the moment in my training. And if you remember, like my previous videos, you'll remember I started back on the roads on the 6th of February. So when was that? Just 6 days ago. So yesterday was the first day I was actually able to run. Oh, that's wrong to say that. Yesterday was the first day I was able to travel for 10 kilometres at an acceptable time. But while the goal is to complete the distance of 10 kilometres, how I achieve this is entirely reliant on my heart rate and muscle strength. So in the beginning, as was the case yesterday, I'm walking further than I'm running, albeit at a very fast walking pace, which in terms of, you know, times means, you know, I'm completing the 10k in about an hour and 10 minutes. So okay, that's not great, I know that. That's probably about 20 minutes off what I'm planning for. But as you know, with running, you need to have like a goal and something to aim for. So that might not be the best time in the world, but it's a good start. So while I'm training, I monitor my heart rate very closely. Oh, I use my Garmin watch. So you will actually need like a watch that monitors like all the different things in it, and be able to upload that data. Yeah, upload that data so you can monitor your performance, I aim to keep it between 130 and 160 beats per minute. 160 is important for me right now because that's the point where I become breathless and have to slow down. But as the season progresses, this will increase to my maximum BPM, or beats per minute, of around 184. So once I become breathless or my legs begin to hurt too much, I slow to a walk until the heart rate drops to about 120, and then I'll start running again. So what that actually does is that gives me like perhaps 1 or 2 minutes to catch me breath. In the beginning, as I said, I'll be walking more than running, but this will change every time I go out, culminating eventually and hopefully in about 3 or 4 weeks, at which point I'll be able to run the entire 10 kilometres without stopping. At this point, obviously, I up that mileage to 13 miles, and after that 20 miles, using the exact same strategy of slowly achieving the distance, and obviously in the process this increases my aerobic fitness. So here we can see my 10k route. Take note of the colour codes, with blue indicating fast walking and all other colours are running at various speeds. So this is my normal 10k route, albeit I mix it up a little to stop boredom, but I've started a co-op, run down the 134 to Urbis Romane, via Urbis Romane to the football ground, along several lanes to Ipswich Road, to Tesco, round Eastwood Drive, past the Gilbert Mill Road and back to the co-op. So, getting back to why I said it's important to have like a training watch, I measure my endurance with VO2 max, which in terms of, in layman's terms, this equates to the maximum amount of oxygen the body can utilise during exercise. It's essentially a very useful measurement of aerobic capacity. And for me, my VO2 max flip-flops, every year between 46 post-winter, rising to 51 mid-spring. And to be honest with you, I'm really proud of the 51 level, because this actually puts me in the top 0.1% of males who run regularly and are aged between 50 and 59, or which is actually the same as an excellent 20 to 29 year old. Now, I hope you don't take that previous comment as me being boastful. That's not my intent. I'm not like that. I like to be humble, in my achievements. Rather, the point of that comment is to illustrate that while my method of training is unconventional, it works really well for me, and that's the key. Creating a training plan that works best for your level of fitness and ability. And the hardest part is setting the heart rate. For example, if you use like the Maffetone method, where in exercise it sets beats per minute at 180 minus your age, my maximum heart rate would be 123, which is way too low for me. I'd essentially be fast walking for the entire distance. In my experience, I've found that the best training routines are those that suit your capacity and strength, culminating in the ability to run strong and consistently over your chosen distance. And obviously, from an injury prevention standpoint, walking once the heart rate hits 160 means in the beginning I won't be running fast enough to sustain an injury, and the same will apply for you. So you mustn't, just because I'm using 160, you shouldn't be using 160 yourself. So in part 2 of this guide, which I'm hoping to post in about 4 weeks, I'll be at the point where I'm able to run 10 kilometres comfortably. So look out for that video, and obviously at that point I'll be training for the 13 miles distance. So well on the way. The goal is that by May I can run like 20 miles, without stopping. So, fingers crossed, we'll be having a good season this year. Hopefully you found this information helpful, and you're able to achieve your running goals no matter how the winter went. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and if you like the content, leave a like, and also please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.